Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we will very happily welcome you to our show no matter how many camels you happen to bring. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor, friend of the camels.
I'm Gerald Christopher St. Fiacre, patron saint of cab drivers and those with fistulas. Porter. Yeah, if you're a cab driver with like a fistula, that's a twofer. You don't have to pick two saints.
And we are happy to be joined once again by Garon Cockrell from the Never Not Funny podcast. Welcome back, Garon.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you back. Your fistula status is unclear at this point, but
I don't think I have a fistula.
I'm going to quickly look up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys? It's like a rupture in your and your insides. It's
an
hole.
Abdominal or
like
surgically made passage between a hollow or tubular organ and the body's surface, or between two hollow or tubular organs.
Oh, a fistula.
Oh, fistula. Why didn't you say so?
Yeah.
They needed a patron saint for that?
Fistula? I barely knew her.
Oh, boom.
Well, now that we've gone through fistula talk, we're going to be talking about minute 89, which begins with Vogel slamming the tank hatch shut to pursue Indy, and it ends with Henry and Marcus covering their ears to block out the shooting.
Okay, everybody listen to second 9.
Uh-oh.
This is actually really important.
God.
Yeah, listen to second 9. Did you hear that noise at second 9? You hear it? It goes, oh! Yeah. Yeah, Pete heard it.
That's classic Jer.
Yep. Did you hear that? Second 9? You know what that is? That's the sound of Pete Mummert's heart breaking.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the sound of Pete Mummert's heart getting a fistula.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is your least favorite minute, I bet, in all of the movies, Pete.
Not all of, I don't know if all of, but it is definitely for this one. I don't understand the sort of entitled colonialistic rage here that Indy is expressing.
Yeah.
Like, let's
describe what's going on.
Talk
camels.
About. Yeah. Describe what's going to fill us in here,
Paint
Peter.
a picture
and
for us.
Just put. Just cover up your fistula, will you?
So yeah, Indy ordered Sala. Well, after ripping off Sala's hat, he ordered him not to get any camels, and now Sala has come with 5 camels, and Indy is just livid. And first of all, I wondered, is it possible Sala has arithmophobia, and Indy's just rubbing his nose in it? But then,
No, I can't count.
yeah.
I never learned.
But
What's
then
a camel?
there's a really funny minute when Sala says, "Can't you count?" And then Indy kind of looks away, and it looks like he's making a disgusted horse noise. Like he looks away and purses his lips, and then you hear the horse go. But it looks like Indy's making that noise.
That was the noise I had for you. Your heart.
Oh, I thought it was. There's also a.
No, it's weird. Yeah, that's second 9 for those counting at home.
No, that's not second 9, by the way, Jer. That's a different weird noise.
That's a different weird noise.
Yeah, second 9 is there's this. But then Indy, after Saul says it's compensation, Indy turns his head to the side and goes.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Well, here,
Second
just
13.
again, just to read the
Friggin'
quote.
Sala.
What Indy says is, "Solid, you stupid what the are you fucking doing? I said no fucking camels. That's 5 camels. What the is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
PG-13. You can do that in 89.
And that's what he says.
Well, you know what's even worse
very
about
strange.
that? It's already very strange, but the next minute will begin with several men running on foot, And you'll realize this Sala is actually a hero because nobody has a horse or a camel to ride on any longer. And Indy should be celebrating what Sala has just done.
Yeah, we started to get at this a couple minutes ago when there was this whole setup of like, I'm gonna go get those horses, no camels. It's like a big thing, but Indy, no camels.
Mm-hmm.
And then is the entire purpose of that just this can't you count? No camels. I said no camels. I hate you, Sala. I mean, I'm making a joke, but I'm actually dead serious too. I don't know what this whole camel business is about.
You're the monarch of nothing, Sala. Shut up.
Sala's fault.
That's what Indy
I feel like
says.
Spielberg's really doubling down on this whole sort of racial uneasiness here, though. Because Saul is also the way he talks. They have him in the belly of that steel beast.
That has always bugged me since the moment I saw this movie.
And it's like,
it's very Tonto-like or something. It's very like, Sala, you know what a tank is. Just call it a tank.
Yeah.
I thought it's kind of funny, like he's all flowery language.
Well, I like it if he always speaks in kind of poetic verse, but I feel like that's not what they were going for here.
That's not what they're going for. It doesn't. Like that big monstrosity. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's coming for me.
So I just bought this tie yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is Belly That Steel Beast? Is that a like a lyric from Pirates of Penzance or something? Or is he doing more Gilbert and Sullivan? He's just not singing it this time.
I hope so.
It's in the belly of the beast. The one saving grace though of this whole exchange though, yes, Indy's like completely being a jerk here, but Sala, to his credit, just totally brushes it off. He's like, no, I need these to give to my brother-in-law to make up for his car.
Right.
Like, whatever, Indy.
Right.
And by the way, your dad's captured and I'm telling you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it just rolls right off his back.
Look, that makes no sense at all. No sense at all. Because, what he says is compensation for my brother-in-law's car. And what's silly about this is they're in a guerrilla-styled firefight. There's no way Sala would be thinking about his brother-in-law's car here unless, Omar is actually more evil than the Nazis.
Why are you bringing Omar into this, Jerry? It's got nothing to do with anything.
That's his brother-in-law.
No, that's silly.
It's his brother-in-law.
Maybe he runs a crime syndicate. Like we thought he died in the first movie, and now he comes back and he's running a crime syndicate.
That'd be stupid.
Listen, everybody's getting shot up and blown up and tanks and everything, and Sala's thinking, I need to get these camels?
Yeah.
He's True Blue.
Because my brother-in-law's going to beat me something horribly if I don't tell him what happened? But that's ridiculous. They're getting shot at.
It's commerce.
He's multitasking.
He is. Sala can do it.
Yeah.
But he's putting everyone's lives in danger.
Who gets hurt? Nobody. Maybe the camels. We don't know yet.
He gets those soldiers to have to run around on foot, and he helps his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone.
He is a hero. Yeah. And Indy's just a jerk.
Well, so what, Tom? Something that you brought up here. What is the director's message here? Is it that Sala answers to his brother-in-law before Indy, or is it that Sala doesn't follow directions, like his priorities are askew?
It is always read to me like Sala's got his own priorities, but they're not askew. They're just it's like a cultural thing. It's like, oh, the truck blew up, or the car blew up. I borrowed that. I'm the kind of guy, or maybe it's like a community thing. I live in the kind of community where, you borrow something and it gets wrecked, you got to replace it. Like, I'm not going to waste a minute not making up for that.
Right.
Like, I have to make up for that immediately.
Is that how that's read?
That's how I've always taken it, yeah.
Bros before
But
Archeos.
if you think if you're killed, then your brother-in-law gets no car and no camels.
Yeah, but he knows that you died trying to make up for it, and that's worth a car.
I don't understand it.
I always, even as a kid seeing this for the first time in the movie theater, I always got the sense that Sala was doing just fine. Like that Indy wasn't getting something, that it was like a cultural kind of like miscommunication. That what Sala was doing made absolute sense to him and kind of made sense to me as an audience member. and Indy's got his own agenda, and he's to give Indy some credit. He's a little stressed. His dad's been kidnapped by Nazis, and he's gotten him back for a while, but now he's back in the belly of a beast, and things aren't going his way.
Yeah.
But why didn't he say, Sala, what's with the camels?
Yeah, or why did he even tell him in the first place? Like, Sala's the kind of guy who's going to go after camels. I better tell him fiercely not to get any camels. Otherwise,
But why didn't
Sala
Sala say, actually, what should have happened? Sala said, hey, after the car blew up, I'm going to have to pay my brother back for that. And they'd be like, all right, well, first we got to rescue my dad and Marcus Brody. And then Sala's like, no.
He said when the car blows up, he says, that car was my brother-in-law's or something like that. You can see it's already on his mind.
That's all he said, though. Yeah, sure, it's on his mind. But it's like, he should have said, hey, Indy, I'm going to have to get some camels. He'd say, no.
Well, totally save Marcus,
say, no, now's not the time for now's not the time to get camels, Sala. And he said, no, listen, if I come back there, believe me, my brother-in-law's worse than these puppet Nazis.
We wouldn't be out in this desert if it weren't for my brother-in-law's car, and you owe him, and I owe him, and I'm going to get camels.
And what Indy says is, and it really hurts Pete, can't you count?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had abacuses in the Middle East. That's where they invented them, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, don't we use Arabic numerals?
Exactly. Come on, Indy.
Now I'm starting to feel bad because Garon is new here, and he's already professed that Indiana Jones is his guy. He's your guy, right? I mean, that's why you're watching these movies. I mean, that's where
He was.
No, but see, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't want to we've been with Indiana Jones not for 89 minutes of this movie, but 7 or 8 years of our life with this movie, it seems like. I don't know. And so we get a little, we give him a hard time, and especially times like this when he's a little testy or something or not entirely reasonable. But how are you, without our griping, how do you see Indy in this movie? Is he reasonable? Is he a sober, straight shooting dude, or is he kind of a crank?
I think he can be a little bit of all those things. I mean, I don't know why he has to snap at Sala when he brought the horses anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's like, I don't want to hit camels, but guess what? I have the horses anyway, so let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, where's my father? Like, Sala was the one who stuck him in the tank.
I said no beasts, Sala.
He's stressed out. He's got some stress dealing with his particular father, who's a button pusher. So he's just projecting and lashing out at somebody he shouldn't be projecting and lashing out at.
It is funny the way he says, where's my father? It almost sounds like, no, I'm going to get it. I think my dad's in a tank. Somehow I'm going to be blamed for this.
See, I think that was going back to the beginning of this movie when he says everybody's lost but me. Like he sees himself as the only guy who's competent.
That's funny.
I feel like if anything, Sala's the button pusher here.
Really?
How so?
I guess, because he brought the camels.
He needs the camels, Jerry. He doesn't care how much Indiana Jones yells at him or doesn't want camels.
I guess
Sala needs camels.
So just to clean this all up and put some nice hospital corners on it. So the comedy is that Sala's insubordinate.
I'll show Indiana Jones. I'm going to bring these camels.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wasn't going to, but then you told me not to, so now I'm gonna.
I guess there it is.
I guess. I mean, is that could the comedy be how angry Indiana Jones is? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, is it like does the audience think that Sala's being dumb, or does the audience think that Indy's being overly pissed off?
That's a good question. I don't.
And
I feel like it's over so quickly that
right.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to, because then suddenly we've got tanks blowing up everything. Mm-hmm. And then Indiana Jones sets the horses off anyway. Get out of here.
Right.
Right. Give me those camels.
And I think the line is hysterical. Like, I said no camels. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But just when you say it, like people on our listeners' Crusade quote that all the time. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's always funny when people are angry.
Yeah, but when I watch the movie, I don't get it. I just like the sentence.
I also seem to think that Well, Indy must have known that Sala was going to come back with camels. Otherwise, why did he grab the horses? Did they need 10 horses? I don't remember.
They need like 3 or something, or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, has Indy's horse giddy up matured? Because in Raiders we have a yeah,
Yeah.
right? But then here we have this guttural her.
It is weird. This one's
Sala's
weird.
got the hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.
Yeah.
He's still mad at Sala. That's why he's got to do that. Hurrah, let's go.
Maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
I think you're right. He
He's not
is
even talking to the
it's-
horse. He's just dismissing Sala.
Yeah.
He's just furious.
Get me out of here.
And I have to say,
Sala
like,
is camels.
I've watched this movie for years, and I've always loved this movie. And I don't think this scene ever really bothered me until we started examining it close up. But I felt like there was so much of the kind of colonial stuff in Temple of Doom that it kind of, I'm already on edge a little bit. So I think when I watched it in slow motion like this really jumped out at me as an uncomfortable scene to watch.
And especially at Sala, we hate when Indiana Jones, even in Raiders, we were like, you know, they're partying at the Bantu Wind, they're getting on the boat, and Sala gives him a big bear hug, and Indiana Jones could not be bothered. He's like, you know, okay, thanks, Sala, yeah, you're good. Like, you know,
Well,
this is his good friend. We want some love here.
And I, you know, I can't remember what happens at the, you know, here on out, but I mean, how many times, like, we've only seen Indy and Sala interact for like a few seconds of this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is one of them. So it really sticks out, and it makes you kind of reconsider their relationship.
Yeah. We get this beautiful, I said this before, like a few minutes ago when they started shooting at the Joneses up in the hills, where you get like a nice blast from the tank, and then you see the explosion that it creates in the same shot, like seconds, you know, like an instant later. Like the tank is chasing Indy. This is a super cool, nice wide shot with the tank over on the right and Indy over on the left. And it does it twice. It shoots like at the beginning of the shot, and then like Indy's running around and the thing spins and pivots and fires at him again. It's just nice that all that's done like live in the thing. You're like seeing, you're watching this happen. It's cool. That almost never happens in movies. You never actually see what you're looking at. You always see like made up stuff.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how close that stuff is to that horse and that stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Man.
What's
great,
interesting is
It does.
the first shell comes from the tank's mounted turret. But if you look closely, the second one comes from the side gun.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never
cool.
noticed.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, it has a side gun.
And in real life, I think it only had the side guns. I think they added that big turret for the movie. That tank never had a turret like
All
that.
right.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing that they did that.
This feels like it's that old-timey Western game of dance, partner, dance.
Yeah. It totally
Just sort of
does.
on a grander
Yeah.
scale, right?
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. Like they're aiming at the horse, not at Indy.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just like huge
He's aiming
thing
at his
with
hooves. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's aiming at his hooves with tank shells. Do Marcus and Henry know who the Nazis are shelling there?
I think Henry must, because he arrived with Indy, so he knows that Henry must, or that Indy's still around.
Yeah.
Well, the guy just told them. He's like, the other Indy is here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
True.
where did he go? The guy just shut the door in his face.
Yeah, that's a good
Is
question.
he riding on top? Did he jump to the
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, he does just close it in his face.
Yeah. He got run over by the tank.
And Vogel shouts to the tank driver after Jones, like basically get after Jones. So I think they've got to know.
Yeah. Oh, and he yells fire. Is there a German word for fire other than fire?
Feuer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I thought he said fire.
No,
I mean, I guess it is possible that Henry's ears are still ringing from getting beaten with a glove. But
That's true.
that green and red light underneath the gun looked very Star Wars to me for some reason. Like they show that shell pop out of it's an interesting shot. They show a shell popping out of the gun,
Yeah.
and there's like a red and green light and kind of smoky. It looks really Star Wars looking.
Oh, I want to see. Wait a minute. I like Star Wars. I want to see something that looks like Star Wars. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. That's a really good comment, Pete.
Oh, thank you.
I'm dead serious. That is it's just a red and a green light, and it looks a lot like Star. It looks like like Uncle Owen's barn. Not barn.
Yeah,
like
something like that. Yeah,
workroom or something.
Yeah, it's like
funny.
that same color palette. I don't know what it is about it. And then there's some pinups behind Marcus and Henry, and I kept hoping that one of them was going to be Willie Scott, but I didn't recognize anybody.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mrs. Spielberg.
Maybe that, you know what? And you see the pinups, and you see Marcus and Henry like with their hands over their ears, and you wonder, maybe they're freaked out by the pinups. They're like, no.
Where's your eyes?
They're sitting there at each other like, are you peeking? Are you peeking? I kind of want to peek.
Or is
Wait,
he,
I'm
is he
feeling
afraid that-
ripped off. I don't actually see the pinups.
Oh, they're kind of on the
It's
wall.
right in between their heads.
Oh, yeah?
Like second 58, 59.
Oh, okay.
This is always how you get Tommy, Pete.
No, this is me
You
in
tell
front
them
of
there's
Cinemax
pinups
trying
and
to...
nudie mags.
Yeah, this is me jamming a fork in the back of my cable box in 1982, trying to see something. Oh, I see a pinup.
Wait, I saw something.
Well, do you think I was also wondering, is it possible they're covering their ears because they're afraid that Donovan's going to say goodbye the Austrian way?
Maybe.
They're covering their earlobes.
Yeah. No thanks.
Marcus doesn't have to try that hard. Little nubby earlobes.
Yeah. Always picked last for ear fun.
Oh, jeez.
Garon, you were talking about how this movie is your favorite of the four. So have you always been a fan of all the Indy movies, or did you like Crystal Skull, or how would you rank them?
Oh. Phew. Crystal Skull is definitely last.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I need to revisit it at some point, just to...
So do we.
Yeah, good luck. You guys have to analyze. It'd be great if you guys go through minute by minute and realize it's this brilliant piece of film.
That's what I'm hoping.
We all were wrong about.
Yeah.
This one's my favorite just because it was the first one I saw in the theaters. It hit me. It was adventure. I was 9. It made me love movies. And then I think 2 and 1 alternate. I know that's controversial, but I love all of them.
That's
I just
cool.
love this. I love the time period and the punching noises. It's just
Yeah.
they're huge parts of my growing up, and it's
Well, now that we've caught ourselves one of them controversial fishes, let's watch them wriggle around a little bit. What is it about Temple of Doom that you put it neck and neck with Raiders?
You know what? I love the supporting cast. I know a lot of people don't, but like Willie, I loved her, and I love Short Round, and it was just a dark for me. I just had fun watching it, and the minecart stuff, and it was just fun. And I know it's the darkest technically of the 3, but I don't know, guys. I have no explanation.
No, I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. That makes
the
perfect
bridge scene where they're hanging off the bridge, and there's just so much fun set pieces in that one.
sense. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the summer of 1984. That's fun.
Totally.
Sounds like Purple Rain. It's awesome.
Yeah, I and to me they all 3 are pretty close to each other. I think for different reasons, and I think Raiders is by far the best film, but they're all 3 on an enjoyment level, not too far apart, and I love that.
You know what? I can agree with that. Technically, probably story, everything comes together probably the best in part 1. And if I was a little bit older when I saw that, well, no, because I saw it later. I don't know. Maybe if I saw them in order at an age that was more appropriate, I guess, it would be different. But seeing this one on the big screen was just
Yeah.
it was dazzling.
And
See, I
9
think-
is that age. That's that sweet spot where anything you see when you're 9, you're just it's gonna lock on.
And I think for us, it's partially part of the problem with how we've been dealing with Marcus is we saw Raiders at a very young age, and then we had, what was it, 18 years? Not 18 years. What?
27 years.
Yeah, we had 18 years. We had 9 years between Raiders and Last Crusade where we were just thinking about Marcus and how cool he was. And then when he showed up in Last Crusade, it was a completely different character than I think we had been imagining all those years. And I think that made it difficult for us to come to terms with sort of what felt like a different character in this movie.
Yeah.
But I still think he works. I still think he's fun. I'm not Jerry level enraged by him.
I'm coming to terms with it.
You don't sound. I don't think you've showed any rage at all. Here, which makes me just say you're remarkably limber in terms of your Marcus stretching.
I want Raiders Marcus. I'm just, I've brainwashed myself into thinking that this Marcus makes a kind of sense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I'm there too.
Yeah,
and I think it's okay for Marcus to be fun, and I think even being a little goofy is okay. It's just we love Marcus so much in Raiders, it's hard to reconcile it. It's the same guy.
Yeah, it's a tightrope with him. Like, some of the stuff is like goofy. And you're like, okay, that's funny and goofy. Like the last minute, I thought it was fine. But like other stuff is like, oh geez, what are they doing? It's making balloon animals over there. What's going on?
Well, talking about balloon animals. Anything else there, Jer?
I was talking about making a telegraph machine out of balloons.
Hey,
Hey, something's coming in over the wires. It's coming alive. Oh, we have a quote.
oh,
They have not one brain among them, except one. Marcus and Sala share a brain, and it's Marcus's turn to use the brain.
aw. Don't kick Sala when he's being yelled at.
No, I think Professor Christy Porter saying Sala's very distracted here.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
He's anxious about that car and the camels.
Very distracted. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Sala, you're a hero in my book.
Pete, I gotta say, I didn't see hardly any rage or poison.
I'm just
I thought
tired.
that
wore me out.
Cup would
Yeah.
brimmeth over.
That was kind of what it sounds like when my cup brimmeth over, so I don't know.
Pizza.
It's that
slow,
noise at
quiet
second nine.
seething.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I apologize to
have,
everybody for the outburst today.
It was really untoward and uncomfortable.
Your spiritual fistula.
Excellent. And Garrett, thank you very much for joining us today and yesterday. We had a lot of fun talking to you.
I had a blast. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah. And you're on the Never Not Funny podcast.
Yeah, you guys can check it out on Earwolf or nevernotfunny.com. I run the Never Not Funny Twitter page, so if you follow that, you'll hear my attempts at being funny and promoting their shows. And then you can find me at My Name is Garon, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. I understand that someone's Patreon's cheaper than mine, so and also popculturebeast.com is me too. I forgot to mention that last time.
Oh, cool.
Come read about the movies and stuff. Yeah, I live on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter.
Definitely.
That's my thing. Me and Roseanne, we're Twitter pros.
Well,
Oh my God.
yeah. And yeah, Tom, you run our Twitter, and you're kind of becoming an old Twitter pro.
Kinda.
I don't remember what our Twitter handle is, so maybe you can tell people.
I'm going to look it up. I think it's something like at Indiana Jones Min.
Yeah, I think it is something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we post all our episodes on there and other humorous biz. And yeah, find us over there.
Yeah.
Join the conversation.
Yeah. Check us out there, and check us out here tomorrow for minute 90 of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
No camels.
Sala, you ignorant, dense, foolish, dull-witted, slow, simple-minded, vacuous, vapid, imbecilic, obtuse, doltus. You.
You forgot lazy, Selfish.
thick-headed, pea-brained, half-witted, injudicious.